Hi, it's me again. This time I'm covering a quick bite, which is how to make this gorgeous Asian flavored laksa. So, we all love having this, especially when it's a little cold, and it's great for clearing up your sinuses. So, I'm going to tell you how I make my laksa. It's something that you don't need to go to a restaurant to eat, you can make this at home. I've used prawns here, you can use chicken or you can use tofu or paneer and keep it vegetarian. So I'll start with some of my vegetables that I'm going to be using. So I have one spring onion which I'm going to chop up, and part of the leaves are going to go as garnish and the top is going to go when I'm frying it in oil. We have mushrooms here, so I'm going to slice them cut them in half. So I don't like very thinly sliced mushrooms, I like it to be chunky. This is a head of broccoli. I'm going to break it into florets. So this particular amount of ingredients is great for 4 people. Yeah. So in our powdered spices, I have like a teaspoon worth of turmeric powder. I have half a teaspoon worth of cumin powder, half a teaspoon worth of coriander powder, and a quarter teaspoon worth of black pepper powder and some salt. So all of these are dry roasted and freshly ground, and this is organic turmeric. You can use powder, store-bought turmeric and powdered spices as well. I have like around a cup and a half worth of noodles. I'm going to boil these till they are al dente. You can also put them in directly in the soup. You can use rice noodles. These are egg noodles. So I'm going to boil them. I'm going to parboil them. They go in right at the end for me. I've used half a kilo of shrimps. I have deveined them, taken the tail, head, everything off. If you don't mind the tails and they add a lovely punch of orange color, you can leave them on. But I find it easier to have it when it's completely clean. So here you have around a cup and a half or 2 cups worth, a cup and a half of coconut milk. We're going to supplement this with an equal quantity of warm water. This is the magic ingredient that I use. It is a shrimp paste. So this is called the prawn molho, which you get in all the Goan supermarkets. You can use any shrimp paste. It adds a really amazing flavor to your red curry or to this laksa. So you can eat this with rice and then you'll omit the noodles and have this with rice as a curry. I'm going to have this as a thick, chunky soup. So it's like a meal in a bowl. This is half a cup or a little more worth of coriander stems. So you can see the stems are there. Coriander stems and leaves. These are packed with flavor. I'm using only 2 chilies. I don't have fresh red chilies, so I'm using dry red chilies because this has a bit of spice as well. And I have these lime leaves. These are not kafir lime leaves. These are from the Bengali Gandharaj lebu. So most lemon trees have leaves that are waxy or oily and they have this amazing aroma. So you just squeeze it and then you smell it and you'll know whether it'll work. If you have access to kafir lime leaves, great. I use these Gandharaj lebu leaves and they work just as well. I've kept a little bit of lemon in case I want to up the sourness just before serving. This is a knob of ginger. I have a lovely handy little brush that I use to brush off the dirt while washing it under running water. So I'm going to use this skin on. And I have some lemongrass from my garden. So this is from my garden and this is from my garden. Now the lemongrass, the kaffir lime leaves, the ginger, the coriander stems and leaves, and these chilies, they will all go into making my paste, and I will also be adding the powdered spices to the paste. So I will show you once the prep is done and how it's done. I will save a couple of these leaves which I'm going to snip really fine. I'm going to roll it up and snip it in the soup. So it's there, it adds an extra bit of flavor. Yeah. So let's get started. Alright, so prep is done. So here's the paste. This has the lime leaves. It has the lemongrass. It has the powdered spices, that's turmeric, coriander powder and cumin powder. It also has the black pepper powder. it has the 2 red chilies, and it has the ginger. So all the things which I talked about, that's there in this as a paste. And it also has the coriander stems and leaves. This is the sesame oil that we're going to use. And this is what we're going to throw in towards the end. You can see I've snipped the remaining 1 or 1.5 lime leaves here as it'll go into the soup. These are the spring onion greens, and this is a little bit of coriander. This is the chili paste, shrimp chili paste, fermented one. These are your prawns. Now if you're using chicken, when you put the oil to fry these pastes, you would put the chicken in and fry it. But prawns cook really fast, so they'll go in towards the end when it's all boiling. And over here, you'll see we have the prep. The mushrooms have been washed in half. Make sure there's no soil on them, so use a brush. These are the spring onion, the whites. And that's your broccoli cut into florets. Florets are not too big so that they cook, but they keep a little bit of crunch. Yeah, so now we're going to start cooking. And the noodles are already being boiled. I may decide to just throw them in while the soup is being made. So I may not parboil them, yeah. So here I have a large pan that is heating. I'm going to add the sesame oil. You don't need too much of oil, so there's no need to get it very oily. That goes in the shrimp paste. So I'm going to now give it a stir. I'm going to break it up. Yes, and here goes in the second paste. So you can serve this as a curry also and omit the noodles. So make sure it hits the hot oil so the flavors get infused. And you won't believe me if I tell you, but the kitchen is already smelling really aromatic. So you're going to let that fry for a while. I've now tossed in the spring onion whites, and I'm giving it a good stir, just so the rawness goes out of the masala. Now I'm going to add some water. So I'm going to use, this is warm water, it's actually hot water, a couple of cups worth, yes, and we're going to bring this to a nice bubble. And I'm going to also put in the coconut milk. This has already given us an absolutely lovely color. So in with the broccoli, I will add the mushrooms later because the cooking times for both are different. And I've decided not to boil the noodles. I'm throwing in the noodles. I've broken them a little bit so it's easier to spoon into the mouth. And I'm basically just going to put the noodles in. Now all of this is going to come to the boil, and the broccoli and the noodles are pretty much going to cook at the same time. Remember, you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. The noodles will release their starch and it will make it nice and thick. So I'm breaking up the noodles so it cooks faster. And a little more into the cook, I'm going to add the mushrooms. So this is boiling nicely, and to up the flavor, I'm going to add a little bit of fish sauce, just a little bit. And I'm going to just let the noodles cook. They're almost done. Because as I said, both for the broccoli and the noodles, you want a little bit of bite. I'm going to just let that cook. So I've added in the mushrooms now, and they're going to get nice and soft, but they're still going to be a little meaty. So it's a yellowish red curry because of the fresh ingredients. If you use more chili, you'll get more of a red color, but I'm okay with this. So I'm going to just let that cook. Then it'll be time to add the prawns and the fresh greens. So this is bubbling nicely, and now it's time for the prawns to go in. So these are the gorgeous medium prawns which have been completely shelled and deveined. In with the prawns, and as the prawns turn opaque, they will add their gorgeous flavor to it, and the noodles, whatever little is left, will cook through in the same time. Now I feel I would like, and keep tasting as you go along, I feel I would like a little more sourness to this, so I'm going to put in a little bit of lemon. It's up to you. If you like more spice, you can do that. If you like more lemon, you can add more sourness. If you like more saltiness, you can put a few drops more of the fish sauce. So, the prawns are cooking nicely. Prawns need to be cooked very briefly. Moment they turn opaque, they're done. Because you do not want overcooked prawns in any preparation where they get rubbery. So now we're going to go in for a final tasting, and as you can see, the prawns are nice and opaque, and they're turning this gorgeous corally pink. Noodles are cooked, broccoli is done, mushrooms are done, the masalas have all got cooked. So you've got this really nice big bowl of cauldron of soup. So I'm going to go in for a quick taste, and then we're going to do the garnish, and it's ready to eat. So this is ready. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to spoon it into this big bowl. So always keep a nice big bowl for this. Otherwise, it's just going to be a big mess. And you want enough of it. So give a few prawns in each serving. Give a little bit of the veggies. Top it up with the soup. There should be noodles. I like lots of prawns, so I don't like to be stingy with it. And so here you have it. A gorgeous bowl of this hearty soup. It's a meal in itself. You don't need anything else with it. I'm going to put some broccoli on top. And now I'm going to sprinkle some spring onion greens. Yeah, I'm going to sprinkle some fresh coriander, and we're going to go in with a little bit of the lime leaves which we've snipped, and you can serve this with a bit of lemon on the side. And here you have it, gorgeous hearty bowl of prawn laksa, replete with flavors, and you got your carbs as well in the noodles. So a good hearty meal for a cold day. I hope you found this useful. The prep takes a little time. Once it's done end to end, it'll take you around 15 minutes to put this together. Happy eating.